Hello, everyone. Jason Hagholm here, and I am joined by the current reigning and defending BFL heavyweight champion, Kai Bigfoot Machado. Kai, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking and thank you for having me here. The day's been a little bit crazy today. I'm moving out this weekend. So I'm setting up a new place with the fam and I'm been just like packing boxes all day. I'm just like, it's been a long day.
Well, Kai, I mean, obviously you've got a fight coming up October 1st, defending your heavyweight championship. But I mean, you got yourself an extra training camp getting this move together. How's that working and playing into getting your training in?
Yeah, like I managed to. I never stopped training. I'm a guy who I'm at the gym every day, all year round. So if I take a day off to moving or so, it's just not gonna kick up all my cardio, my plan. Like we planned that was already on our schedules to take extra day today, and it's good. Sometimes we're pushing us too hard, so take a step back. It's good to recover and all anyway. So just like getting my stuff ready. Now I need extra space because of my baby growing up. So it's a journey, but it's part of the job, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I know you did just become a father, Kai. How old's your baby girl?
He's it's a baby boy.
Baby boy, excuse me.
Yeah, it's all right. His name is Leo, and he's 10 months old.
Oh, well, congratulations once again.
Thank
I
you.
mean, that's obviously got to be another driving force
Sorry,
for your
not 10
career.
months. 10 weeks old.
Oh, so even younger. So that's definitely got to
Yes.
be a driving force going into this title defense more so than not, and really, I guess, trying to change your outlook on your career right now.
Yeah, 100%. I know I was already with that focus on the hand before from my previous two fights. Since I believe since I heard that my wife, the day I heard my wife was pregnant, my fiance actually, I was in a not very good spot with my career because of COVID. I wasn't getting a fighting for a while. I wasn't with any making much money off my private. The gym was going very slow, so we had a discussion that like I had until May to make the money off like make money off fighting and get the ball rolling, or I had to get a 9 to 6 and try to do that part time again. And like I just did, and I got a fight going and got some sponsorships, more students. So I think just make me work harder, and think everything worked came with all the work I put it in, and work out just fine. Now we're moving to a bigger place and growing our family a little bit more, and being able to raise this guy with all the and training at the same time.
Well, Kai, that's obviously very exciting as your personal life continues to grow, but more importantly for you, your mixed martial arts career continues to grow. This has been obviously probably the best year of your career, with not only having two wins this year against names, relative names, especially the Chris Larsen win back a couple months ago, but as well getting the spotlight with BFL getting on Fight Pass. I mean, that's got to make a huge growth for you trying to take that next step with more visibility and easy access to seeing your fights.
Yeah, 100%. Like was a really good timing for to BFL adding to being part of the Fight Pass for me, because it was a timing that was already like supposed to be like I felt when we were going to this camp. It was supposed to be last year. I was already getting a good momentum, and the COVID straight hit. But the idea was getting a little bit busier and get the ball rolling. And I just used the last year anyways to work on my game and work cardio and all. And I'm just became the best shape of my life. I'm the best shape of my life, and things just got everything together. I got a good fights. The Fight Pass is a great platform to showcase my skills, and with I think with this new momentum will and the Fight Pass exposure will I won't be long until I get my UFC shot for sure.
I mean, obviously, you just got yourself some new management with MTK, and they represent some of the biggest names, not just in MMA, but outside in boxing as well. So
Mm-hmm.
a very well-known management group. I mean, have they kind of led you to get some contact with the UFC of what you need to do to take those next step to either UFC or a bigger promotion?
Yeah. We already tried to reach out to the FC to see where we are standing on the eyes, and pretty much the feedback is we are on the track. They kind of want to see a little bit more of me, and instead of like fighting a more well-known opponent, so and building up a little bit more record. So with that, we tried to get a couple of the other fighters in Canada and all, looking for some guys with a name, but it was hard to get someone that accepted this fight, and also with COVID restrictions and all, we wasn't sure how. It was very hard to pick someone on the state, so we took the fight they offered me. I want to keep busy. I want to, like, if I'm not fighting against someone with a name, at least I'm keeping myself busy, and I'm gonna be able to showcase again what I'm capable of.
Well, I mean, at least you, I guess, have a guideline or a plan in place to take your career to the next step, and have some feedback or something like that, instead of just going out into the wind or anything like that. But before we look at your next fight coming up against Randy McCarty on October 1st, but I mean, your fight against Chris Larsen was tremendous. I mean, heavyweight is such a shallow division here in Canada. And those are the two, like you and Larson are obviously probably, I'd say, 1 and 2 top heavyweights in the country. And you guys just put on a clinic. I mean, you took some big shots, but you absorbed them and able to put him away, and had the sensational celebration with the cannonball after the fact, which I mean, I loved. I mean, just talk about, because to me that fight, I think, elevated you into the eyes of a lot of heavyweight mixed martial arts fans in Canada, and just mixed martial arts fans as a whole.
Yeah. The whole point of, like, I think it was MMA Empire that they posted right after my fight against Lee that would be the fight to make at heavyweight. And I look at the ranks and look at the records. We had very similar records and kind of careers in general. So I thought would be I called this fight. I called that fight. I wanted to get the #1 spot in Canada. I knew it would be like time to showcase and like to get the main event, the big stage, and to get the two biggest heavyweights fighting in Canada together. So I was very excited. I worked very hard for that fight. But like, honestly, I kind of knew what was the game plan. Like, even I knew it was a hard fight. I knew, like, I had an advantage on the game plan and the kind of way I fight. It's counterproductive to the way his fight. He's a guy who comes aggressive in the end. He has heavy hands, but he couldn't keep up with that kind of game for too long. So the fight didn't go the way I was expecting, to be honest. I thought it would stretch a little bit longer, would have to hold, take the fight a little, grind him a little bit more to make him tired before I just like pissing out. That was the plan, and when we started studying. But like, we also was working on that counters and working off the hooks. I saw he was struggling a lot, so it was just a matter of like working hard in timing. Like, I can take I just proved to everyone I can take a punch like everyone else, and most important, even I'm smaller heavyweight, I can cause damage, if not but more than other heavyweights around.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when Chris hit you with that big punch, I thought that was it, because that's a heavyweight that has to cut down to the 265-pound limit. But I mean, good for you. You were able to absorb it and then go out there and have that big win. And now you got to make the Cannonball Celebration like your thing afterwards. Like, now that has to be your thing there, Kai.
That's a little bit dangerous, because like, I can actually hurt myself. I was in the momentum. I wasn't sure if I was going to jump in the, like, I usually try to climb the cage, but like the BC Athletic Commission, they really don't like us to climb the cage. I don't know if there's a thing somewhere else, but like every time I do it, I got like, there's always someone from the commission, Kyle, get out right now. So it was in the middle of it, and just you know what, I'm gonna do something different and just want to like explode it and just like cannonball right out on the spot.
Well, it's true. We don't want any Johnny Walker situations where you
Right.
dislocate or mess up your back or anything like that. But I don't know. I thought it was a creative enough celebration. And then now that leads us here. You're taking on Randy McCarty, and you did say obviously it's someone obviously with a 6-12 record that doesn't look that appealing. But as you said, you couldn't get anyone here in the country of Canada. You got to bring someone in, and it's tough to bring people in, especially with the COVID restrictions. I mean, you're just at least happy right now to get a fight against a guy that at least has some good stand-up. We know he's got a pro boxing background as well.
Yeah, it's a guy who's being like, he has 18 fights in total plus a couple boxing fights. He's like, and he's a heavyweight. So at the end of the day, we know like any heavyweight can drop, have heavy hands and can drop each other. I'm not gonna say that's gonna be easy or a hard fight. I'm just saying like, either way, no matter like the opponent, I feel myself in a different level already. I believe I should be fighting among the UFC level. I see myself more skilled than some of the guys there. So I see like any guys in the local scene should guys that should be. So no disrespect to Ren or any other guys. It's just how I see this game and how I analyze my skill set. But yeah, like he was we ask for other guys, we look for Canadian fighters, and like they can say whatever they say online. And at the end of the day, no, everyone said no when the call comes. And if Ren is fighting for this fight with his record, is because he was man enough to say yes. So big props to him. I know he's gonna come professional and to put a show, and I'm excited to scrap this guy. Like anyone, I love to fight, and I believe he does the same.
I mean, for sure, and plus he had the ability to get into Canada with how strict it is right now to travel from the U.S. to Canada for this purposes. But I mean, this one's got to be a little exciting in the fact that you're going to have fans in attendance, Kai, because like this is the first BFL show on Fight Pass with fans. And as well, your third fight of the year. I mean, that's just got to be tremendous, especially for a heavyweight. That's kind of unheard of.
To be honest, I like if I'm not fighting more this year, it's because BFL is not putting enough shows. Like I took 2 weeks suspension after Larson. I was in the gym the Monday after. I never stopped training. I'm ready to go to fight since July. So if it's up to me, I fight every week. Like I love to train, but like fighting, it's where I feel like home. That's what I'm good at.
Well, and your record does indicate that. Your last couple of fights does indicate that. Yes, you're very good at fighting.
Yeah, and also like with the crowd, like to be honest, it's gonna be even more special, even with a small crowd, because my parents, they finally like they managed to come from, they're coming from Brazil to visit Leo, and we managed to come with the same week as the fight, so they also gonna be the crowd for my first fight ever. Like I don't think my dad being one of like the last time my dad saw me fighting, I was like 17 and fighting white belt BJJ in 2012.
Wow. So yeah, that's a long time ago. Does that add any extra pressure to you then with having your dad see you out there?
Yeah, so my mom and dad, they are coming. I'm so excited to have them in the crowd and they be able to see me perform live, to see how like I do my craft, and like they, even though they're a little bit scared and concerned, they are very help for me. So they have some special guests on that crowd for sure. It's going to be a special night for me.
That's going to be really cool. And I mean, that venue that BFL runs is really nice and intimate. So I think that's going to be another cool aspect of it, and with just the fans in general. But, Kai, obviously, as we talked about earlier, heavyweight in this country is very, very small pool. Only like a couple real elite contenders, or the ones that have been elite have either moved on to the bigger promotions like Arjun Buller, and a guy you fought, Dustin Johnson. He's now there in one championship, or to the UFC or Bellator, what have you. If the UFC tells you, as has told you, obviously you need to get a couple more wins, would BFL let you maybe go to the States or something like that to fight for like a CFFC, an LFA, one of those top promotions?
Like I don't, if we can manage, I believe honestly I need to go over BFL and talk to them. But if we can get together a champ situation like we did with Larson and Unify, I don't see why BFL would say no, especially if I'm going there to take the crowd and show. And I think that would help to prop BFL name and all. So I think it was more a matter of, it's more a matter of visa right now because of like my Brazilian status, and it's hard to get a work visa in the States right now. Uh, but I think it's like it's everything negotiable right now. Like we have a good relationship with the promoters and all, so that's we can make. I believe we can make happen. Like I would love to just fight any of those guys. Like I saw I saw the clip of the last heavyweight title LFA, and like I could be those guys. No, like again, no disrespect for anything. I'm more game than that.
Well, I mean, obviously, yeah, as you said, it's all about negotiating and tough to get a visa. But per se, obviously, BFL and Unified seem to have a pretty solid working relationship where you were able to fight Chris Larson in BC. If maybe the opportunity came up, I know Chris is defending his title in a couple of weeks, but if he gets by, would you ever try to work it out back to go out to Alberta and try to take his title?
Oh, why not? I think like I honestly I rather not, just because I think I should be fighting at the UFC. I'm always looking forward, so I rather not have rematches. The only rematch I had to do was my first fight, James Mead. It was a like situation with the, I don't know if you watched this fight or remember. It was a little bit situation with the low blows that he was calling, and I didn't disagree with them. And in the end of the day, we revisit. He tried to pull the same kind of bullshit, and we all saw the end of the day who was the best fighter. But even like my loss against Joyson, I'm not anxious to revisit that. I know that was a good part of my career. I learned a lot about that fight and the other fights that I had. But like, I try to not step back, just the rematch for the rematch. Like if we are supposed to fight in the future, I hope it's gonna be in the UFC someone further. Like I'm not trying to look back. But if it happens, I'll be like, I'm game to fight anyone. I just like I'm excited to get it like to the next level and to get the next challenge. Like I'm 27 years old. I'm getting to my prime and just want to like get to the UFC right away and try to start my title run because I'm hungry.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I totally understand that. And I guess that leaves us to, obviously, Contender Series is back, and it's a long season. It's going from end of August to early November. Obviously, you get a win here. You try to stay active and find a way, get your management to get you out there for a heavyweight replacement, even an opportunity. I know the cards have been filled out, but as you know, COVID is still a ravaged thing and has broken up fights or injuries, what have you. And, you know, UFC always needs heavyweights.
Yeah.
So exactly. So trying to stay ready with that. Well, Kai, I feel like I've kept you enough. Obviously, best of luck on October 1st, which I can't believe it's almost October, but you're going to be in there defending your title out once again, your third fight of 2021 against Randy McCarty. Before I let you go, though, Kai, plug your sponsors or people who need to get some shout outs, because obviously you're a top heavyweight in Canada right now, and a lot of eyes are on you right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. First of all, I just wanna say thanks to my team at FKP MMA, my coach Chris Franco and Jaden Martin. They be my family from day one. Like they know that we've been spoke. Like we are on this to the long run to go to the UFC and trying to go into the UFC belt. Like we are not just playing. We are not doing any playing video, trying to play fighter. We are here to for good. So thanks for those guys for all the journey we've been through so far. We are very close to make big, so we are exciting. Also, all my supporters, all my team that helps me out with all the behind the scenes. MTK, of course, the Fourth Media Brazil, Rodolfo Zanin, that also like do my social media and nutrition, and sponsors, of course, the guys who believe in my dream and support it and help me to make help me to make that a full-time gig, what makes a huge difference in my performance at the end of the day. Body Fuels Inc., supporting all the food, nutrition, juices, all along to the camp and the managed to go. The Von Barn Group, DLM Project and Service, Real Seed Bros, Action Athletic Wear, and Drive Market. There are a couple local companies that are also believing the dream and support me to this journey. So thanks for all those guys. We are getting ready for this fight. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be on the Fight Pass, as we said before, and I'm very excited to get there and kick some ass. I think right now I'm ready to put on a show. Like, I was very strategic with my last couple wins, but right now I'm just want to bang.
Well, we'll leave it at that to definitely get people to make sure they tune into Fight Pass on October the 1st at BFL 69. Kai, thank you once again, and best of luck on the 1st against Randy McCarty and defending your BFL Heavyweight Championship.
Again, thank you very much, and thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you very much, Kai.